Good evening, ma'am.
Please start.
Okay. To stimulate life, leaving it free. However, to unfold itself. That is the first duty of the educator. Beautiful words by Maria Montessori. Good evening, one and all present here. I am Angel Savior, part of NCDC, the self-governing National Child Welfare Organization established to promote women and child welfare and ensure child education in India since 2004. Its main activity focuses on development of children and women. Prayer is the raising of one's mind and heart to God. I would like to welcome Amy ma'am for prayer.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, the compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. With summer and winter, springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy ma'am. Today, we are gathered in this space as a part of the webinar program. It is my pleasure to welcome all the faculty members of NCDC on this occasion. Secondly, I welcome the eminent Baba Alexander Sir, who has come here to join us and be a part of this program. Next, I welcome our mentor, Ms. Shakila Abdul Wahab ma'am, to this section. Now, I welcome the most supporting our motivation and inspiration, Ms. Preeta Nadarajan, BSc in Mathematics and Physics, faculty at Indian School, Al Seep, Oman, NCDC 61st batch student. I would also like to thank Preeta ma'am in advance for conducting this webinar and giving us such a great opportunity. And finally, I welcome all the guests and students community from different walks of life who are present here on this digital platform to be a part of this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angel ma'am, for welcoming me and thanking me beforehand. And for the people who don't know me, I'm Preeta Natarajan from 61st batch of NCDC. I would like to thank our NCDC community, Baba Alexander sir, and our evaluators, and most importantly, our dear Shakila ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to present my webinar on the topic, The Awakened School. Before jumping into the webinar, I would like to put forward a question. What do we all have in common? I would like the participation of everybody. What do we all have in common? Can anybody answer? What everybody, all of us have something, we have something in common.
The air we breathe.
Education.
I'm sorry, Amy ma'am.
The air we breathe.
Okay, that is okay. Okay, I got that. Great answer. It's what we have in common among us, like something. I'm sorry.
Education.
Education. Okay, but many of us do not have education. Many of the underprivileged, they don't enjoy the education. There is something everybody in this whole world has something in common. Can anybody guess?
Memory.
Memory. Okay, I think there are few people who lack memory. They have some kind of disease.
Soul.
Passion.
Soul. Yeah. Soul. Okay, I'll take that. That's a
Passion.
good
Love.
answer.
Passion.
Passion. Yeah, yes. I don't think everybody has passion, but that is a great answer.
Love.
Love. Yes. Yes, if everybody has love, I don't think there will be any fights, any terrorism.
Angry.
Angry.
Heart.
Okay.
Heart.
Good heart.
Brave.
Okay. Okay, that is great. I will just break the answer. I think we all of us have been children once upon a time. Once we have been children, right? Everybody in this world, we've been children. We have the feelings. Okay, all of us have feelings, that is common, and we've been children once, that is common. So we really know what a child might think, right? We can empathize a child. So we all of us have feelings in common. So I would like to share my presentation now. So the topic is the awakened school. Can anybody guess what this topic might put forward? Can anybody give your opinion about the topic or what I may talk about it? Okay, no problem. I'll just get along since we have very less time. Awakened school is an ideal school. There are more ideal schools now, but in India, I don't think so. We have an ideal school which meets the basic needs of each and every kid. All kids are different. Each and every kid is different. We don't have a school which meets the need of each and every kid, the thirst, which quenches the thirst of each and every kid. So the awakened school is that kind of school. So being a teacher, I think we have to know, being a teacher and being a parent, I think we have to educate ourselves some of the difficulties and some of the abuses that our kids are going through. So the first abuse, just by looking at the picture, we can say that this is a kind of physical abuse, right? So the physical abuse can vary from pinching, slapping, spanking, hitting, and even burning, they say. And our parents and teachers, they become more creative when it comes to punishments. And I've heard that few kids their head had been shaved as a punishment. That is a physical abuse. Here, I would like to ask a question, as we are all parents and teachers. What will you do if your parent or your mother-in-law does a mistake? Will you slap her? Will you spank her? Will you hit her or pinch her? Your mother-in-law. If you take example of a husband, that is totally a different story. We'll talk about him later. But will you slap or spank or hit an elderly person, an older person? Will you even do that?
No.
No, ma'am.
Why?
No.
May I ask why?
Never.
Why wouldn't you slap your mother-in-law if she does a mistake? If she doesn't, obey you? Why wouldn't you slap her?
We respect our seniors, right?
Okay, because seniors are seniors, you respect. And then the second point is they are not
They are
dependent
react.
on you. They are not dependent on you. Your kids are totally dependent on you for food, clothing, and shelter. So you're taking an advantage of them, right? Is that why
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
slapping a kid? Is that why you're pinching a kid? Just think about it. Just think about it. And it is estimated that 109 kids are being inflicted some kind of physical abuse in a day in India. Okay, that is really alarming rate. And then here I'm talking about sexual abuse. I think all of us know, we see this every single day on news, wherein an adult or a child who sexually abuses another child. Okay, this really disturbs a kid in many, many, many ways. And it is shown, it is revealed that 28% of girls they undergo sexual abuse before the age of 18 years. Okay, 28%. And this is really shocking. And here I'm talking about what? Here we just see hungry highlighted. I'm talking about neglect. Neglect is one form of abuse wherein the children are deprived of the basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing. And also we can include education and healthcare. Okay, so this is kind of abuse that we do as a society, I would say, to a kid. And here, it is really sad to see this child. She is going through some emotional abuse. We all, as a parent or as a teacher, we do this unconsciously. We do it every single day. I think everybody in the group, in our class, you agree with me, because we do a emotional abuse either by comparing our kid with another kid and even with their own sibling. Okay, criticizing a kid. Okay, and threatening a kid. If you don't do this, you will never get this. If you don't go there, you'll never get to do this. If you don't do this, etc. and etc. And we all don't know what the child might feel in that moment. So these are the abuses, various forms of child abuses: physical, sexual, neglect, and emotional. And now here I put forward some numbers. Can you guess what these numbers can be? Because it is all related to kids, children. Can anybody guess? You can try. Come on now. Just try. What these numbers, what these hours can mean to a child in a day.
Routine of the child.
Yes, you're almost there. It is right. So what is 10 hours?
Yes, ma'am.
Sleeping hours.
Yes.
Okay, 8 hours is the
8
sleeping
hours.
hours. That is fantastic. What is this 10 hours? What it might be?
Sleeping.
No, 8 hours is sleeping.
Sleeping.
And 10 hours.
Study time.
Yes. 10 hours is the time where they spend at school. Okay, this is maybe for the students of 8th grade, 7th grade. 10 hours is the time they spend at school. And what this 1 hour might be. Okay, I would break it because this is a survey. So
Play?
no. That the sad
Lunch
part,
break.
it comes at the end. 1 hour is the traveling time to and for from school. Okay, and 2 hours, as you all guessed, it's the homework time where they do homework at home. And 2 to 2.5 hours to 3 hours too, it's the extra classes that they get right after the schooling. And this 20 minutes, it's really, really sad to see that 20 minutes is the relaxation period that the child gets in a day. Okay, this is the survey done by an NGO, which is based in India. It is called Associam. It is a non-governmental trade organization. And how sad it is. It is such a shocking thing to all of us, to all the educators and parents. And here I put forward 4 different affirmation. There are 4 different statements. I really want you all to go through the statements. I'll read it once. The first one is, mother is the first teacher. Home is the first school. Teacher is the second mother. School is the second home. I would like some of you to pick up which you think is right. I think everything is right, but which you think is closer to your heart and which you think is the best.
Mother.
Mother is the first teacher.
Okay,
Teacher is the
good.
second one.
Mother.
Okay, I hear it from a teacher.
Second home.
Okay, okay. School is the second home. And nobody's picking up home is the first school.
Yes, home is the first school.
Home is
Good.
the first school.
Yes, okay, okay. Everything is right, okay. And here we can say that home is the first school. That is the affirmation which is closer to my heart. It might be wrong or it might be right. I'm not too sure about that, but home is the first school. Okay, why? Here is where kids learn. I wouldn't take it as discipline. Here is where kids learn to socialize, to talk, to eat, to smile, to cry. Everything happens here. Okay, and then, so here we have come to the awakened family. Awakened family is where everybody in the family is gathered. Everybody in the family is ready to contribute for each and everybody. It's not just mother is the first teacher. Father is also a first teacher, right? And kids, even the parents learn from kids. They learn together. They evolve together. For this, I would like to say an anecdote that happened in my life. When we used to stay in Canada the first time, it's the beginning days of my life in Canada, when we were standing in a queue in a cafe. We were standing in a queue and there was a customer, tiny customer in front of me with his father. He was asking his father, he was shouting, muffin, muffin, muffin. And father, he just lowered himself to the height of the kid. I think the kid might be around 4 or 5. He lowered himself down and he told him, muffin, please. And the kid replied, muffin, please, daddy. And he brought him the muffin, okay? And kid just grabbed the muffin. And father said, you have to say thank you, daddy. And he said, thank you, daddy. And father replied, you're welcome, honey. Okay, look where the teaching starts. It starts from father or mother. It starts at home. Education starts at home. I was really thrilled to see that scene. I can never, ever forget that scene. And then it is really very important that we speak to kid. I think we all speak to kid. It is everywhere in YouTube that you have to speak to kid, talk to kid every single day. It's not talking like, how was your school? How was your classes? How did your teacher teach? How did you do your tests? How was your mark? Etc. and etc. It's not that talking. You sit with the kid. You say, how do you feel now? How do you feel when you talk to your friends, when you play with your friends? Okay, when you talk to your teacher, how do you feel when teacher, embraces you? These kind of talks is really very necessary for a kid's brain development. Okay, next. And how can we even achieve it? This is the main question, an indispensable question that goes around in our mind. How can we even do that? Somebody else is doing, I think we can do it, but how? First of all, we have to change the way we look at kids. It's not, just like externally, but the perspective. Don't have any expectations from your kid. You are different. Don't see yourself in your kid. Your kid is a different entity. When your baby came out, it is fresh and it really loves to fly like a bird, like a free bird, and it really need not have your name, your religion, your nationality. Please don't get offended. It's just see kid as a kid. Okay, the name, nationality, and religion, it's just something we are giving them. Okay, I'm not against anything. It is just a statement, okay? And then let him or her be whatever they want to be. The thing is, in India, as a parent, as an Indian parent, what we tend to do, that whatever we didn't do in our school days, our dreams, we just impose them on our kids. Your dreams are already there, okay? Just forget about it. It is buried deep under. Okay, just forget about all your dreams. And now it is your kid. He is different. She is different. Okay, give them a chance to even think what she or he wants to be in a lifetime. Okay, and finally, you see him or her for what they are, not for what you want them to be. If they want to be a shy kid, let them be. If they want to be a kid really hyperactive, let them be. Okay, one thing what you can do is just stop. Okay, just stop and listen to your kid. Here I would like to share my own experience, which I go through every single day with my elder one. She is a teenager. You know how a teenager's mood swings are. So what she used to tell me, that you're a bad mother, you don't know anything, you're dumb. I would definitely use that word because that's what she says to me. My inner ego, every time when I hear this from her, it just comes up, my ego, like it just comes up, and it makes me, it wants me to say, no, I'm a good mother. I know this, I know that, I'm elder, have some respect on me. But what I do, I just stop, I just hear everything because it is her experience. It is not me, it is just her experience. She saw me in that way. It is okay. Okay, just breathe, just stop, breathe, listen to her. Let her have her own space. Let her breathe for a while. Don't argue with her right away. Don't argue with your kids right away. Okay, and you sit by yourself at least for 2 minutes. I know it is really difficult in our family situation, but sit for 2 minutes by yourself and think what you can do, to avoid these kind of talks, what you can do, how you can approach your child, not by arguing. Please don't argue with your child. Okay, and one thing which helped me, I'm not doing any yoga or meditation right now. I do have time. I'm trying to come back to that. But once I used to do it when I had some really difficult times in my life. I used to do yoga and meditation, and I trained my brain to stay alive, to stay in the moment. This really helped me and really helping me to listen to my kids, to stay in the moment. I'll never get my ego play in the argument. I'll never do that. I have never done that. Okay, I would like you all to try meditation. We were doing in our NCDC. That was really wonderful, right? We can implement that in our everyday life. Just 2 minutes, just sit for yourself. And then these are the few points that I would like to come back. Staying present, stay in the moment. Okay, and you have boundaries. You set boundaries with your kids. That's when the kid will know it's not kind of rules. For example, if you really want them to watch, to have less screen time, set the timer and tell them 1 hour weekdays, 1.5 hours to 2 hours during weekends. That's it. And don't give them extra time. Even if you're really very busy with some other work, set the boundaries right. It's not strict. It's not a punishment. They'll know it. Okay. And not just that, you have to embody, you have to practice what you preach. You stop watching the TV for 2 hours, 3 hours, etc. If you set a limit for yourself, your children will learn from you. Okay, my mother, she reads, she watches TV, she does all her works in a day. She doesn't sit in front of the screen all the time. Okay, you're just teaching your kids there. And then we just talked about all our awakened family, and now we have to transit to our awakened school. That's when I was doing some research on 20 best education system in the world. And I was shocked and surprised to see there was no India in the first 20 best institutions. There was United States, United Kingdom, and Canada, France, etc., etc. And where's India? We all know that we want our kids to be the best in everything. We all try to the best universities, IITs, AIIMS, and NEET coaching classes, everything. We really want our kids to be the best, right? But why our educational system is not in the first top 20? I asked this question myself, and these are the points that it just occurred to me. Our education institution, it just focuses on results. From the day one, I see that the teachers are training their kids for the first periodic test and the second periodic test and to the half-yearly or quarterly, whatever you name it in your places. They train them just for the results, for the examination in most of the schools. Okay, I wouldn't blame every single school because I don't want that question at the end of the session. So in the most of the schools, they do this. And there are deadlines, not just for the kids, for the teachers, deadlines, and deadlines. I think every teacher in our group, they will agree with me. We all have our deadlines for assessments, for record, etc. And next one, in the name of discipline, how many silly things that we do. I'm sorry that I'm using the word silly, because for example, in a school, when a child doesn't wish a principal or vice principal crossing, what they do, they just ask them to stand, and they just ask them to wish, and they just, they yell at them or they punish them in some schools. I've seen that. But we have to be in a kid's place and just think. We don't know what the kid is going through in his lifetime. We don't know what kind of abuses he's been through. We all have our mood swings, right? Why don't the teacher wish the child? Why don't you take the initiative? Say a hello, say a good morning to the kid. And next time, I'm sure I can just say it 100% that the kid will wish you whenever he or she sees you in the corridor. You do the initiative, you be the model there. And then we have very less practicals and more theory. That is, I think when I did my 10th grade, I had my practicals, but I think right from the KG, whatever we learn in the theory, there should be some practicals right from KG. And extracurriculum activities, I think most of the schools are taking it, but it's just on the paper. They are not given more importance as the mainstream subjects. Do we have 2 or 3 or 4 extracurriculum classes in a day? I don't think so. And the parents, teachers interactions. Here it is always shaming a kid. Always shaming a kid. Okay, they say good things. We have been advised to say good things, but the parents themselves, they wanted to hear even the negative sides of the kids. And for example, in one of the parents teachers meeting I attended as a teacher, I saw a kid with his parents on either side, he had his expression was, there was no expression in his face. There was no smile. Even when he smiled, it was so fake. I know the kid really very well. He's the active kid in the class. He shouts, smiles, speaks, and he was also a prefect, by the way. And I asked him, why is your face like this? Come on, cheer up, give me a smile. And are you afraid of me? And he said, no. He just showed on either side. He's showing his parents. I was really shocked. I don't know what they are going to do to him in home, at home, what they are going to give him as affirmation when he goes back. Okay, so the stress teachers, finally, it is the stress teachers. We all know why teachers are really stressed. They have to get what they deserve. I always talk for this. If they get the pay that they deserve, I think they'll be less stressed, and we might have the awakened school finally. And then, so how do we want an awakened school? It is just the opposite of whatever we saw in the previous slides. We need less kids, and so more attention would be given for those kids, like 15:1 ratio. For 15 kids, 1 teacher, so that the kids, the teacher will know about each and every kid in a class. For example, in Finland, I read that a kid has same teacher for 6 years of his or her lifetime. For 6 years, he will be dealt with the same teacher, same class teacher. And the teacher will become more like a family member rather than a teacher, right? The bonding will be really very strong, and we know what kind of attention our kid might get. And extracurricular activities, it should be equally assessed. Yes, as we discussed about this in the previous slide, they should have extracurricular activities, and it should be assessed same as the other subjects. And the grading. This grading, I love how they grade in NCDC. They have this continuous grading system. So I think that should be implemented in school, not just the exam. I know they do the grading a similar way in most of the schools, but it is just on papers. Okay, it is not, it is totally based on the examination and the test. Okay, and the teacher should be well paid, that we spoke about it earlier, and giving enough rest for the mind and body. It means there should be less amount of time, working time for kids and for the teachers, and less homeworks, I would say. In Finland, I've heard that there are just the homeworks are just for 30 minutes span every day. The kid has to spend just 30 minutes to complete their homeworks. And then different methodology for different kids. I think everybody agrees with this, because not every kid is same. Okay, everybody has a different kind of intellectual quotient, like IQ and EQ, etc. So each kid should be treated differently. So that is possible only if there is very less amount of kids in a classroom, right? So here is one of the awakened school, I would say, an example. It is in Finland. Most of all the Finland schools, they are the same. There is no competition among schools like we have in India. This is the best school, and this is not so best school, and this is the mediocre, etc. So there are no best schools. Cooperation is the key. There's a solidarity among the school. There is no competition, as I already said. So everybody is working towards the goodness of the kids, for the well-being of the kids. And the starting school, that at an older age, they start school at an older age rather than starting by 3 to 4 years, which is practiced in India. Okay, we send the kids at 3.5 to 4 years to kindergarten, right? They don't even know to speak, right? But here, when they start school at an older age, they get to socialize really well. before that, they had to attend their play school. That is for sure. Just the play school. Okay. And then providing professional options past a traditional college degree. In India, I think we focus on the professional courses like either engineering or medicine or an aeronautical, all the fancy degrees, but not the polytechnic, the institutions, right? And I think we have to, Indian system, they have to encourage having these kind of institutions, like in France and Germany. They have such reputed institutions, polytechnics, which welcome all the students. They opt for those institutions. And then the Finland people, they wake very, very late for less strenuous school days and work days. The schools, it starts by around 9 to 9:30 and until 2 o'clock. It's very short period of time. And I would say you'll be shocked and surprised. They just have 2 hours, 2 periods of these subjects, the mainstream subjects, and the rest will be the extracurricular. And they have longer period of breaks for lunchtime, for example, and even some time is dedicated to relax and to socialize with your friends. It is good for teachers as well, right? And there is consistent instruction from the same teachers. I've quoted this already, that one kid has the same teacher for 6 years. What else you can ask for, right? And a more relaxed atmosphere, as I told you, that they have longer period of relaxation time and more extracurricular activities, and less homework and outside work. Less homework, it's just 30 minutes of homework. On the other hand, in India, it is said that kids spend more than 120 hours or something in a year. And also more than 3 to 4 hours in a day. Okay, they spend more than 3 to 4 hours in a day. I'm sorry, I think it's more than 100 hours in a month. Indian and most of the Asian schools, they do that. And finally, I would like to just bring them all up as a conclusion. Our children are not us, they are somebody else. So they are unique. Okay, let us give them some place, some space to evolve, and let's evolve along with them. Let us build a society that sees a child for what he is or she is. Let us all evolve together with our children. And then I have a challenge for you all. After the session, or during the weekends, you can just sit with your child for 2 minutes, at least for 2 minutes, and see the child for what he or she is. Forget the name you've given, forget the religion, nationality, whatever you taught them, discipline, whatever it is. Just sit with them. Just see what kind of kid he or she is. You'll be amazed. You'll be at peace right after that conversation. I would guarantee that. Finally, I would like to thank Ms. Shefali Sabari. She's the clinical psychologist, and she has written a book called The Awakened Family, which is the inspiration for the talk that I've given today. I love the book. It is a parenting book. I would definitely recommend each one of you to try that book. And I really encourage everybody for the question and answer sessions. If you have anything to ask.
Yes, ma'am. May I?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. You said the home is first school and the second home is school, right?
Yes.
So,
of course.
If we send our kids to school in early age, like 2.5, 3, like that, and they get a less period in first school, and in the second one is more. So my question is, what is the best time for the kids to send to preschool?
Preschool, I think In UK, I suggest Google's just researched. In UK, they send kids around 3 years. It's just a play school. It's not, they don't teach anything apart from just playing, singing songs, dancing, only the activities. Okay. And there are some researches done. I really forgot to mention that during my session. I would thank Sunaina ma'am for bringing up this question. So there was a study of Stanford University. They found that when kids are enrolled in school at the age of 6, when they turn to 7 or 11, when they get better scores in self-control. For example, they can focus more in their studies. Okay, and also in Finland, at the age of 7 and 8, they enroll the kids in school. So what happens there? They learn better social skills even before that. Okay, even before that, they attend the preschool and they learn social skills better, and they get better scores in their hyperactivity. When they are tested for hyperactivity, they score better when they are sent to school in later age, in older age. I think I answered your question. I don't know if that convinced you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am. Any other questions?
What's your opinion about the parents? Now the parents are facing so many challenges. Okay, what's your opinion?
For example, challenges wherein?
This means you say that your child itself asking so many things. When you shout at her, she will talk about what mommy is mommy.
Yes. No. Yes. I got your question, ma'am. Thank you so much, Sharon, ma'am. I don't shout at them. I told you that when she shouts at me, when she bursts her stress on me, everything is inside. Okay, I shout inside. I have all the struggles inside, but I never tell her anything. I just wait for her to finish everything, and I just wait for maybe half an hour. Right after half an hour, she comes back to me. She says sorry. Believe me or not, just try it at home. She just asked me sorry for what she did, for yelling at me. Okay, even if she doesn't ask a sorry, I just don't mind. And after a few days, I sit with her and I talk to her. Look, this is why I told you this, and you're not supposed to talk like this. And she accepts the advice. She doesn't take that as an advice. She accepts whatever I say. Okay, then you can really get that kind of attention when you practice. This needs a lot of practice and patience.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Same situation I'm facing here also.
You have a toddler, I have a teen.
Yes, but she know everything. When I shout at her, she will
No.
taunt me. And sometimes at the end only I will shout at her. Then she taught me that Mama is shouting at me. I'm going from here like that.
Yeah, that is also an abuse, I would say. Like, not us, we don't know that. Unconsciously we do it. I've done that too before knowing, before going through some of the books. I've done that too. But what you have to do, the key is the patience. Just stay patient. We cannot become Buddha, not everybody, but just try that. Any other questions?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
one more question.
Please.
Can I?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, sorry, I forgot the name of the country. The one country which have education system that's entirely different from our country.
Okay.
Okay, I guess it's Korea, right? I don't know.
Okay.
The system is like this. The one teacher for a set of students. Okay.
Okay.
One teacher for the 1 to 6 years or something like that.
Yeah, it is Finland.
Finland, right? I heard
Yes, that's
about
what I
that.
was talking about. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. Is it a good, or is it work for the students, or what is the main advantage of this kind of education, or is it good for the students, or if we change the one teacher is taking all subjects like that, okay?
Okay.
Is it good, or the different is good, or the same teacher is good? Which one is better? Our education system or there?
What I would say that they have succeeded in that, right? Finland has succeeded in that. I'm not too sure whether the same teacher teaches every single subject. I'm not too sure about that. I have to do a research on that. But I read that there is one teacher who takes care of the kid for 6 years. Maybe she's a class teacher, or maybe she attends every classes. One of the advantages is she will know inside out of a kid, just like a mother. We know how our kids are. We know their positives and their negatives. We don't judge them, right? If there is new teacher in every class, the teacher, they just look at the marks, what the kids have scored in the previous class, and they judge them. Okay, they just make the kids, whoever are learning, whoever got the highest score, as a leader, as a blossom, whatever name they have in the schools, they do that. But the other kids, they really wanted to try those, like a leader or something. But I think if there is one teacher, she'll know positives and negatives, the strengths and weakness of a kid, and she would give them that kind of attention, right? And on the other hand, if you say, I don't think the kids would get bored because Finland has succeeded in it. Why not try in India?
Maybe it's
Ma'am?
boring for the kids, right?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, because we should ask the
It's a
kids.
set of students. Maybe one is love that teacher or something like that. Maybe someone is not that much affection on that teacher. So
Yes.
there is some clash. Like,
Yeah.
if we came a new teacher, maybe that student is love that one and going a good way, right?
Okay, I would totally agree with that, Sunaina ma'am, because I'm not too sure as well how, because I don't know whether the same teacher teaches every single subject or she's just a class teacher. If she's just a class teacher, I would say that that is really best, because she'll know everything about the kid and she can give such kind of, feedback to their parents. She'll become more like a family member, right? I don't know about every single subject. I should do a research on that. And as you said, the kids, they really need different teachers. Even we will get bored if somebody is teaching all 3 years in a school or in a college. So I would agree
Yes,
with you
ma'am.
on that.
Yes, I
Thank you,
agree
ma'am.
with you. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ma'am, Preeta ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
it's me, Agatha.
Okay, ma'am.
See,
Go ahead.
now the Nana ma'am said about like the school is 5 to 6 years, same teacher. So after that 6 years or 5 years, maybe the new teacher will come. So is the children can accept that teacher? I don't know,
I
is
think
it possible?
Okay, because they accept teacher every single year. Like children, they really need a difference. Like Sunena ma'am said, they really need different teachers every single year. That is there. But I'm not too sure whether the same teacher teaches every single subject. Without knowing that, I cannot comment on that. But I think kids accept faster than us, right? We take more time to accept another individual. We do a lot of research. We judge them. We wait, for that space, and then we accept the others. But I think kids, they accept anybody because they don't know, they are innocent. They don't have anything in their heart. They're pure hearted, right? So I think that would work for the kids. That's my opinion, humble opinion. Anybody else? Or shall we wind up? Okay. Okay, I think it's a yes. We shall wind up. Thank you, everybody, for staying with me till the end of the session. Thanks for attending the session. Thank you, NCDC, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, Shakila, ma'am.
Thank you, Preeta ma'am.
Thank you,
It was
Preeta ma'am. Thank
really,
you so much.
Thank you so much.
it was really wonderful seminar.
Thank
Thank you for conducting this webinar very clearly and beautifully. Thank you for your presentation. Your way of presentation is very beautiful. Okay, ma'am. Okay, next. Now I invite Femina ma'am for vote of thanks.
Thank you, Angel ma'am. Good evening, everyone gathered here. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who work really hard to make this occasion possible. I am Femina. On behalf of NCDC 61st batch, I extend my sincere thanks to the Almighty for making today's event a grand success. I extend my hearty thanks to our special guest, Baba Alexander sir, the famous spoken English trainer, and he is one of the global goodwill ambassador in India. And I express my heartfelt thanks to our Shakila ma'am, faculty of NCDC, for the valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement in all our efforts. I want to extend my thanks to Mrs. Preeta Natarajan, faculty at Indian School, Al Seed, Oman, and we proudly say that she is NCDC 61st batch student also. Thank you, Preeta ma'am, for sharing her important and worthy opinion about the awakened school. I want to appreciate her effort for making this occasion informative for all of us. I mention our deep sense of appreciation to Preeta ma'am. My
Thank you,
sincere
ma'am.
gratitude goes out to all my friends for the rock solid support and encouragement. A big thank you to each one of you who make this occasion memorable. We thank you for being with us. Have a great day ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you, Preeta ma'am.
Thank you,
you
ma'am.
all.
Thank you.